shit. Where's the thumbnail? There's good. Okay. Okay. Let's see, where is this? If you're watching the VOD, good for you. Content. Live. We're live. Get a shareable link. Oh, one concurrent viewer. First come, first serve. Let's see what we got here. Move this mic a bit. Post the link to the Discord. Oh, shoot. Shoot. Come on. Monetization on. Okay. Anything happening? Let's see. League media. What do we got? We've got Tien and Jackie Love with Top. SFM leaving. Fearness leaving. Cryan leaving. TSM announced their roster, their academy roster. A 27-year-old, 26-year-old, 23-year-old, 27-year-old. Certainly ain't young. Certainly is not a young roster by no means. But makes sense. Poor instincts without a job. Jeez Louise. mean, come on. Kid's 18 years old. I mean, come on. That don't make any sense at all. Like, that's the type of player you build on, not the type of player you let go and replace with Neo. Any tournaments going on? No. What's this? What do we got here? Who's playing in this tournament? Bunch of South American squads. What country is that? Ooh, Guatemala. So we have that. That's not too interesting. Well, we have a couple things in Europe going on. What any of this interesting here? This looks like a bunch of randoms. Sup, thank you for stopping by. I know there's a couple of you. Just kind of going through Leaguepedia, trying to see if there's anything going on. Really, there isn't, but it's always nice to... Okay. Nothing's really going on. None of these guys actual... no. Just even like an ERL? No. Maybe it is. Well, that's where D went. Some of these players, it's where they went. It's going, Melting Cheese. How about you? How's life treating you? Oh, finals were definitely a fun time. That's for sure. I can't say I was a big studier, so finals always were interesting. Depending on what kind of professor you have, depending on how they approach it. I had a professor once at every class period before we had an exam, they would, and they didn't require attendance, so people would just not show up to class all the time. The day before the test, he would put the test on his podium, and he would recite all the questions and all the answers. It was a good time. They had some professors that were not quite as free to give out, A's or whatever. Damn. There's nothing really going on in the league community right now. Nice to see the LPL starting to, announce a couple things, couple players leaving and things like that. So maybe the ball is starting to move in the LPL. The RNG situation's becoming a little bit clearer. That is the issue right now that is holding up the LPL, is that the RNG team may not be a team. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I didn't end up reading it into the Hans Sama situation, but apparently the thought is that he may not have paid commissions to his agent or agency that had him sign, so he wasn't paying commissions, which is kind of weird, especially on the Rogue deal. I think they don't mention more than just the TL deal, but I think they mentioned the Rogue deal as well in that argument. Yeah, I think an off-season World Cup would be awesome. I think a World Cup should occur where you have, and the thing is, like, you have to put enough money. The issue with events is that you don't want them to be like Rift Rivals, which is just an absolute joke, or MSI, which is kind of like a joke. You need something online that people want, so you got to throw a lot of money at it, probably. But if you do, players will come and they will participate. I think that is a thing to do. When does Kespa occur? Nest already happened, but when does Kespa occur? Oh, that's not what I want. I want Kespa Cup. Come on. Work for me here. They didn't do Kespa Cup last year. Did they not do it because of COVID? It would have happened, depending on the year, it could happen at any time between November and the beginning of January. So that's the thing. Like Kespa, if Kespa came back, it could happen anytime. Based on what I'm seeing, Kespa Cup didn't happen last. Sorry, it did happen last year. My apologies. It's 2022. It happened the 10th of December through the 12th. The year before, it was a 2-week event from the 21st of December through the 2nd of January. So it looks like it occurred at some point during December that would hypothetically start sometime around this upcoming weekend through the end of the month, at any point. Whether they do it or not remains to be seen. I mean, there's no announcement of a date or anything on Leaguepedia, so I am assuming they don't plan on doing it. I mean, a lot of these challenger rosters aren't announced either. So can the teams even put out a roster? Let's see. How many teams are there right now with announced rosters? There are currently only Sandbox has announced their challenger roster. So as of right now, we don't know who's even going to play in the Caspa tournament if it happened. But that is the tournament that is supposed to be happening during this window of time. I mean, I know that LCS wants to do lock-in again, probably. That's kind of boring and silly, but with the visa problems, it's silly and boring. I mean, I don't like the mix of academy players with pro players. I think that is not conducive for an enjoyable watching experience. So, yeah, there's like a couple supports here. I mean, that's the thing. Like right now during this window, there's nothing. There is nothing. If we hadn't had all those leaks during Worlds, we might have more roster rumors to talk about. I don't know, Gerb, but if you're not playing Sona every game and not, doing this thing that you're doing where you played every few games, you have a better chance of going up in rank. So, you got to, drop the ego, pick Sona, put on your Sona costume in real life, sit in your chair, and pretend you are DJ Sona with your keyboard. And that is how you will gain rank. Otherwise, you're plat for life. You should have it support primary and then beg to role swap and play Sona support. Over the years, Worlds has become Worlds is the only thing that matters. So the thing is, MSI needs to have value. And you think about pro sports. I think of American pro sports. All the All-Star events have no value, right? And baseball, the Major League Baseball, they had something in place that actually made the All-Star game have value. The winner of the game got home field advantage in the World Series for their conference, right? So that made the All-Star game have value, even though a lot of people are upset. They're like, why are you doing this? This is supposed to be a for fun event or this or that. So what you should do for MSI, winner of MSI is guaranteed to go to Worlds. Make MSI, guarantee that team goes to Worlds. Or make it so that, how we have all these extra seeds that we don't know what to do with. That region gets an extra seed at Worlds. Something to that degree. Make the winner, make it have value. I mean, that's the thing. You got to make it have a reward. One team each region, winner gets the extra spot. In the end, I think that is the easiest and simplest way to make it have value. Otherwise, you have to throw money at it. Literally, it always comes down to throwing money at these things to make it happen. I mean, that's just the reality. It is what it is. That actually canceling MSI 2020 does kind of show. Well, it's a tough situation because you can't like. Part of me wants to say it kind of shows that Riot, knows MSI isn't that valuable, but at the same time it had to be done. So it is what it is. If Worlds was at the heat, the um, if Worlds was occurring right during the height of the COVID pandemic, around the time MSI was occurring, Worlds would have also been postponed. It just would have happened. So, um, something had to go. Well, I mean, it's probably because no one's making money in League. There's so many. Well, Riot. It's because Riot's investing so much money into everything else. The fact they have Valorant now, it's kind of crazy that Dota gets as much money as it does when I don't believe the viewership's higher than League. So I don't know where they're pulling the money from. And the thumbnail does live. I don't think Worlds needs to be given a bigger prize pool. I think Worlds is already Worlds. Everybody wants to win Worlds. I don't think anybody doesn't want to win it. Um, so I think you have to boost MSI. There's not a team that doesn't want to win Worlds. I think that tournament in and of itself is big enough. There could be an argument that they should just, with inflation and everything else, raise the prize pool, but I think that's just simply because the prize pool should be higher. Astralis wants to win Worlds. They may be taking a budget approach to it, but they want to win Worlds. I don't think that Astralis or a Western team, no matter what the prize pool is, will ever actually have a chance at winning Worlds as the region hierarchy stands right now. So you're just throwing more money at a chance to go to Worlds when you're not even going to win it. So, I mean, I think that's why my video I talked about the cap floor. If you have a cap floor, that forces teams to spend money. If you do it like the NHL does, which I explained in that video, you have it so that every team has to spend X amount of dollars on their roster no matter what. That makes it so you can't have a budget roster anymore, or a budget roster is now half as much as a top tier roster. So like $2.5 to $5 million, something like that. At that point, you're no longer able to have a roster where you're paying everybody super cheap. You need to actually, pay people to even have a slot. Just 1 second. Yeah, see, I'm not even going to make a hypothetical about Western teams having a chance at Worlds. Like, they're not, right now as it stands, there's no chance. So, with the amount of, they're just not going to. No amount of money spent on your roster is going to allow that. At a certain point, you have to try and win domestically. And I will say, Astralis are pretty cheap. And a cap floor would fix that. Make them spend money. You know, people are upset that there's a players union in the LCS when the LCS sucks, but a budget roster in the LCS costs a lot more than a budget roster everywhere else. It's still going to cost a couple $1,000,000. G2 were able to cheese for a while. And at the same time, I think that the East is getting better by the day, too. The East are not getting worse. So, you need a perfect storm for G2 to really do well. And if you think about it, early on, G2 had imports on that team. So, that is a thing, too. Yeah, I don't even a super team doesn't even. No, I can't. Really, the issue why we can't compete is a systematic issue, systemic, sorry, in both Western regions, more so North America than Europe. Europe with the ERLs actually has a system in place. They just have to get better. Where North America literally has a crap system in place and needs to get better. So. I mean, I don't want to bash the West, but the fact of the matter is the West is what it is. It's lacking. It is lacking behind. So, yeah, we can't. No amount of money is going to fix that. A hands diff is a hands diff. Just 1 second. Now I should be able to let this damn cat out. Like, I do think the FlyQuest roster is going to be the best roster of the Western teams this year on paper right now. Like, it's all on paper. But that roster is not going to win Worlds. No means. By no means. Impact, Spica, Vikla, Prince, Isla. So a Korean-speaking roster with the exception of Spica, and if Isla can't speak Korean, Winsome was brought back on the academy team. Hypothetically, Winsome could play, and they could have a 4 out of 5 Korean-speaking roster at minimum. They could also just teach Spica some Korean, and they could be Korean-speaking. Which is really, if you think about it, so Papa Smithy goes from 100 Thieves to FlyQuest and completely builds the team totally different. Totally different. I mean, 100 Thieves was Abadage, FBI, Huhi, and immediately Papa Smithy's like, we're spending and going to get Vikla, and we're going to get Prince. And you know what? We'll get Spica 2, the top jungler available in North America. We'll get the top-rated top laner in North America. Impact is 100 years old, but I think he was the top lane free agent. So, excuse me, Like, they went out and spent money where it's kind of funny because 100 Thieves were not built that way at all. The last few years. Ooh, damn. I wonder when 100 Thieves is going to announce this damn roster. The fact that they are right now in Korea boot camping, and I mean, I know it's like an inside joke, like they're openly streaming their games together, but like, come on now, it's a little late. You should have already had filmed your video or whatever. Oh, are any of these things gonna happen? Oh, that's not how you spell league. It's kind of funny, like, we know all the European rosters, but only 2 are official. Oh, there's... yeah. I think Yahorung's going to be on Fredit Brion. That's my thought. Honestly, to God, thinking about what mids are available right now in Korea, and Fredit Brion hasn't announced their replacement for Lava, Yahorung is going to be playing for Fredit Brion. And he fits. He wants to sit mid lane for 45 minutes and do nothing outside of his lane, so he fits the Fredit Brion mold. Not trying to bash Yahorung, but I think that's pretty much his style. He wins lane no matter what. He's going to be ahead in farm. He just might not help anybody else. Because I think they brought Arya back. Well, I think Fredit Brion's the only job open. I don't think there is another job available. PSG Talon, PSG Yahorung, alongside PSG Elam. So it's Elam and Yaharung for PSG. Otherwise, I don't think that there really is there is not an opening for him. Yeah, I saw a rumor that DFM were going to go with Arya in mid. Top lane, they have to go with a Japanese top laner, right? Because of probably import rules. I have no idea. Well, if Utapon is done and ends his career, I guess it could go the Japanese 80 carry. Either way, DFM, I don't know, Eevee was kind of whatever at this point in his career. So I don't think they get worse necessarily, depending on what top laner they get. Yeah, but Utapon's also like 100 years old. There are probably better players that they can go with. Not from Japan, from Korea. I mean, one of these roles, either top or 80 carry, is going to take a step back. I don't know if Arya is that much worse than Yaharung, to be honest. Arya stunk in the LCK this past year, but yeah, he turned 26 and his eyesight is already pretty sus. So he's going to get old soon. Them glasses can only get so thick. So he's going to have to, I don't even know what his eyesight issue is necessarily, if it's something specific or it just is what it is and a whatever situation, but well, thank you for giving my channel an opportunity to, introduce you to what League has to offer. I know my thumbnails and everything else are pretty sus, so to click on my content to begin with and then like it enough to continue to watch is really cool. I appreciate it a lot. In spring, we're going to have more content, every day I have content, obviously, but once games start in spring, and we'll be doing previews for the spring split, and we'll be doing roundups every day. So, you'll be able to be on top of it. I am thinking, seeing somebody new to League in general. I am thinking about maybe doing I think there are hundreds of people that have done this already, if not thousands. But I'm thinking of doing like an introduction to League series, where I do it in my own way. Just quick videos that honestly I may even upload to my personal social media, to try and get more people to like the game that don't already know about it. I think it'd be really nice to try and grow the game a bit in North America. It was a really good Worlds, by the way, for you to jump into. Normally, they aren't that epic. That's what I'm saying. In 2013, he was like that. I mean, the guy's got some... he's straining his eyeballs. I cannot believe he's able to do what he did. Yeah, and also being new to Worlds, if you are a Western fan of Europe or North America, the results this past year are pretty similar to what they are normally. 1 out of 8, maybe 2 out of 8 get to groups. I mean, get to quarters. But yeah. Hmm. Did Japan announce that they are joining PCS? I saw the LCO said that they were going to, but I did not see Japan make any confirmation that they were going to do that. Yeah, so I don't know if that rumor is true because I figured the PCS would have announced it with the LCO. You know, like the PCS would have announced Japan and the LCO are joining the PCS. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they only said that Oceania was. I mean, maybe DFM winning that game against RNG kept them alive as a region. DCS. What is DCS? Oh, Deep Cross Gaming. Not specifically. No, I only watched the teams that were um, in the minor regions, the teams that were internationally relevant. And because the VCS was doing so many interesting drafts, I never really even gave anybody else the time of day. But that makes sense why Deep Cross Gaming were not Deep Cross Gaming were in the PCS, whatever. Let me look this up. I'm sorry to tell you, Gerb, but the coach is gone. Coach is gone. All they got is right now. Actually, all they have under contract is the bot laner. Okay. Oh, thank you for becoming a member. I actually really do appreciate that. I was just looking at some. I'm in a little bit of an argument. What did I think about Gen G's Peanut? And well, they had to keep somebody. They had to keep somebody. Thank you for following my channel, Tomas. I plan on, when I do my previews for these minor regions, I'm going to do it differently, because last year I did it where I had like an algorithm thing going on and it was just way off. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the minor region, I'm going to preview the major region import players that are there, some of the top players from last season, and just do it that way. So that's when I'm going to talk about Lava and, you know, things in CBLOL. I'm not going to talk too much about CBLOL, only because the Loud video did not do nearly as well as the Red Cannons video. So I'm not going to invest a lot of time in specific minor regions. I appreciate all the supporters that have showed up to the stream, by the way. Keeping the channel alive. Keeping the channel alive, because trying to get to January, hoping that I'm going to live view games similar to this format. I'm going to take the time to maybe do something with the stream, but live view games so we can discuss them as they go on. What do we got going here? Well, the data mining is going the way you'd think it'd be going. We're doing it, right? It takes a lot of work, especially because I just started doing this top 5 thing. Thursdays are usually my roughest day for content, so I should probably finish the Jinx. I should be able to get the Jinx of Phelios video up. Today's Thursday. So bot lane is Friday. Probably Sunday, the Jinx of Phelios video should be done, and then I can upload it. These are very random. They are not, they are definitely not, they're not regular. There's no schedule. In spring, there'll be a schedule because I'll be live viewing games. And that's when I'll stream. I only stream sporadically right now. Somebody had brought up a couple days ago they wanted me to stream, so I figured I'd stream. I had a window of time today to do it, where the internet isn't bad. So we just talk about League, though. It's not like I'm not going to be gaming or anything. So it's kind of just BSing about whatever's. Man, oh man. Gotta keep this going. There's just no news. Nothing is being announced. Damn it. Oh. Thank you for joining the Discord as well. Your entrance is much different than the individual that joined the Discord yesterday. The LCS. I don't believe everybody got better. I don't think Evil Geniuses got better. I'd argue TL is a big fat question mark if they got better. Cloud9 may not have gotten better. FlyQuest, a lot better. Dignitas, a lot better. Golden Guardians, a lot better. Immortals, still stinks. TSM, still stinks. 100 Thieves, worse. Did I miss anybody? Not to come off as like, that's the way I worked through it, so that's the way I spoke. Oh, the individual that came in yesterday was sharing links to a stream that was inappropriately titled, and I wasn't on the Discord at the time to ban them, so. 100 Thieves I probably could have, but it wouldn't have made sense to stay together. I just think they could have also still gotten better. They could have done what FlyQuest did. So, like, they actively got worse. I do think that long term it's better that they did this, because I think Tenacity and Busio might be good. But in terms of short term, 100 Thieves I don't see as a Worlds team this year. So they're worse. I'd place them probably 5th or so. EDG has not announced their new AD carry, so I'm not going to comment because I don't know who they're going to pick. EDG's best player, in my opinion, throughout Nest was their top laner solo kill. So that is the only guy I really noticed from their academy team. Gen G's AD carry is probably, statistically, I haven't watched him play, but is LCK level. And Photon, I've heard mixed things on. I know LS even said something to the effect of that he didn't think Photon was that good when he played against him in scrims. Now that was LS, so we'll take it for what it is, and but at the same time, that's all I've really got on Photon right now. Damn it, this cat is definitely being a pain in the ass. Berserker loves playing Cho'Gath bot. I mean, who knows? Who knows? I think Vitality is the most volatile team. Actually, Vitality gives me like a C9 from this past year vibe. It's either going to be really good or really bad. Again, I'm not going to give Bo his flowers until he plays some games. I think Neon's better than Karzi, and Kaiser's way better than Lebrav. So theoretically, Vitality got better, but top side of the Rift still needs work. Luckily for them, the LEC has gotten worse. So people may say to themselves, Vitality is actively way better than last year based on their results, but I think it's because everybody got worse. XL's the only team that got better, and I mean, you know what? So what? Vitality's third instead of sixth, but I don't think they're any really that much better than they were last year. To do that. If Photon and Bo end up being the best in the LEC, then obviously the team is very, very good. But basing it off of the way it looks right now. Actually, I think Photon's numbers were not good. I don't think G2 is going to be better. I think there's a lot of value to having Yankos. But if Yike is good, Yike is good. But right now, Yike is just whatever. He is the guy that's got to make things happen for that team. So if he can't do it, that's a big loss. Because I don't think... I mean, like, G2's bot lane was the problem. But I thought Targamas played better than Mickey last year for sure. So I don't know if Mickey's an improvement over Targamas at this point. Favorite players to watch. Bin. It's been Chovy in mid. Shogun, 80 carry. Carrier support. Jungler. Trying to think. I like a lot of junglers. Jungler is my position. I love watching junglers. Because, you got carries, you got guys that just make things happen, and some that really make things happen at a high level. It's tough. Like, probably have to be Kanavi right now. Tarzan as well is fun. He is very fun to watch. Um, like fun to watch and being best in the role are two different things. Um, Depends what type of players you like. Like I don't think Shogun's the best AD carry in the world, but that man plays with some serious umph, and I love watching a player that plays like that. I do. The confidence in that, like there is inting and being stupid like the shy from time to time, and then there is Shogun, literally just like level 2. I'm gonna pop you in the mouth, and that's what he does. And like, I love it. I love it. And as far as like solo queue goes, I think solo queue is just whatever. Honestly, I give more. I love the fact that Champions Queue is a thing because I think Champions Queue is just so much more valuable than solo queue for these pros and to gauge their level of play. Like it's just not an indicator of anything. Like sure, you're playing games, and I don't think like Hans is like. I don't think Hans is washed. I just don't think he is. I think when push comes to shove, Hans struggles under pressure. We saw Rogue do a lot better without him this year. I think in TL, that was what broke their back. I think was pressure. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're gonna find out if that is the case this year with G2. Don't be surprised at all if G2 is the type of team that calls upset in, between splits. A team like that, Mad Lions, uh, those two really stick out to me as the two teams. XL, oh geez, another the Sona all day every day. But that's the only way to gain LP. Maybe you'll run into Hansama in your plat games. How long have we been streaming? An hour and 10 minutes. I recorded my mids video already. Did it right before I did this. So I did my members only video, and when that was uploading, I did my mid video. So it's already recorded. So that's done. So after this stream, I will probably continue to data mine for my Jinx Aphelios video. That's literally, it's a toughie. So far, Aphelios is dominating. It is dominating the board. But it's super early on, so patches and things have to change things. So, anything on Twitter? No. My favorite player is Reckless. That is my favorite player. Favorite team, I do not have one. That's what makes this so great, is because I do not have a favorite team. So when I talk about teams, I have no bias. I have teams that I like at certain times. This past year, I liked OMG. Then I liked FPX for a little while, and then I liked Thunder Talk. That doesn't mean that I like them for any other reason than just the way they play the game, underdog stories, roster builds. But in terms of rooting interest, I have nobody I root for. I appreciate that, Edvin, for supporting me and following my channel and, watching, because, right, viewership's been down since Worlds. So those that are sticking with me, I know you guys are the ones that'll be there all the time. As far as teams, though, like, I originated as an Optic gaming fan. I've been an Optic gaming fan since 2007 with Call of Duty. So I come from first-person shooters. Those were my favorite games. And so when Optic went to League, I'd already liked the League, but not really had a vested interest. And when Optic joined, I was all in on Optic. They were my team. Now, I want to specify, Optic was bought out by Immortals, and for the last bit of Optic's tenure in the LCS, it was Immortals with the Optic logo. So I was not a fan of them then. Once they were sold to Immortal Gaming Club, I was very upset about the matter. 100 Thieves is owned by Nadeshot. Nadeshot, one of the most popular Optic gaming players of all time in Optic's history, as being one of the best Call of Duty organizations in history, one of the best esports orgs in history, winning Halo, all sorts of FPS game titles. So Nadeshot, 100 Thieves, I guess I have a slight interest for 100 Thieves because it reminds me of Optic, but outside of that, I really don't have a favorite team. Yeah, I like Reckless. I mean, I don't really know why. I think I just like the way he talks about the game. I've liked the way he's talked about the game for years now. I do like the Swedish aspect. I'm a big hockey fan, NHL fan. So all the Nordic European countries I'm really fond of. Like, I know Finland and Sweden are rivals or whatever, but Finland and Sweden are like two places I would love to go to travel to. And yeah, if there was a Finnish player, I would probably like them too. I know there's a ton of Swedes, but if there was like a Finnish player that was active and in a LEC org, I'd probably like them. Yeah, I don't know what. I mean, Zhao hasn't been officially announced to Weibo, but I mean, we'll figure out what these teams are going to end up being. It's going to be a mess. What the Weibo roster looks like it's going to become is a hot mess, honestly. The meta has a big role in how teams get out domestically. Um, in the major regions, for sure. There is not a big enough gap between the first and second place teams in the major regions, in my opinion, to make it so that it isn't meta dependent. Maybe Korea right now. On paper, T1, I think, has a big enough edge over Damwon, Kia, and HLE. But I think it might still come down to meta, because if a meta allows for Canyon to dominate, Canyon will dominate and beat T1. So it's very meta dependent. And the meta has a massive reason for why somebody wins Worlds. And I think a lot of people forget that, and I emphasize it many times every you know, I have mentioned it many times throughout my time on YouTube that the best team doesn't always win worlds. The best team at Worlds wins Worlds. The best team in that meta wins Worlds. I would argue T1 was the best team of 2022. They finished second at MSI, second at Worlds. They were literally one of the best teams from January to November. Literally top 5 in the world. I think I dropped them down to 7 or 8 in summer, maybe even out of the top 10 for a week. But like literally, you look at the whole season for T1 and they've been there the whole time. Which is going to, some people probably think that's a hot take, but. And RNG, very good. Also, like, RNG win in spring, and then if it wasn't for COVID, probably were going to be a quarterfinalist. Well, they were a quarterfinalist, but maybe even a semifinalist. Possibly. I don't think Dom Kia were. I think Canyon was the best performer at Worlds outside of Zeka, but Nuguri played awful. So, and honestly, I don't think Dom Kia has an answer for DRX's bot lane. That's the thing. Like, all of this comes down to how do you answer the DRX bot lane? How do you answer the ban of Heimerdinger? I think that ban of Heimerdinger was massive. It affected drafts in such a big way. T1's drafts throughout Worlds were a bit sketchy. And I wonder how much that had to do with Bangy being the coach and being very inexperienced at the position at that level. Obviously a former world champion, but not somebody that had been the coach for very long. So, was he out coached? I think so. Outdrafted, for sure, throughout the entire tournament. They were drafting ego drafts and things that made no sense. So I'm not shocked that the draft did let them down a bit, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. The issue with more tournaments, we were saying this when the stream started, teams don't care. Teams don't care. Yeah, I don't co-sign, personally. Really don't. But as far as more tournaments are concerned, without the amount of money being placed on, you need to literally place a ton of money in the prize pool for players to want to play and care. Players don't care about MSI. Why would they care about a tournament in April, a tournament in July? Actually, let's see something here. World Championships. Players. Jungle. RNG have had a lot of weird situations going on monetarily for years. They've owed people money for years, from what I understand. So for them to run into money trouble now, I think that has been a problem for them for a long time. That they have had money problems, that they have been improperly using funds and things like that and screwing themselves. Sleepy Boy, I have a video on double elim on my channel. I am not a fan of double elim. I think double elim is a bad idea. There's a fundamental issue with double elim that people don't like to hear, that I think is rather important. I don't know, honestly, Tomas. I think Damwon Kia should be a third team, but like the fourth team could be like KT. I think KT at their best could get it. DRX, I think at their best could get it. Gen G at their best could get it. So it's between those three. Yeah, I mean, that's the fundamental problem with double elim. If you want to make a triple elim, go right ahead. You want to play a tiebreaker game after both teams have played, that's fine. Yeah, I don't even think that's all that fair. Just if you're not going to play a third series or a tiebreaker game or determine a way that's a tiebreaker between the two series, I'm not for it. Well, FlyQuest's issue is that they're cheap. This year, they're not. New investors, new team owner. Which is kind of funny because the team owner is the Florida Panthers NHL team owner, and historically that team has spent no money. So this is like a tax write-off for him, in my opinion, that he's spending money on, but that's beside the point. They always were so cheap. That's why they let PoE, Santorin, and Ignar go after that great Worlds performance a couple years back. What do we got going here? Oh, I'm a Sabres fan. I'm a Sabres fan, and they stink. From Buffalo, so Sabres and Bills all day, every day. Um, yeah, whoever said Rascal would be a weak part of DRX is on some sort of um, really, really hard drugs. DRX's weak point is jungle mid, and that is by far the problem with DRX. Yeah, the Wild went all in, and definitely are paying the price for doing that, and that's kind of the nature of the beast, right? You go all in, and it bites you. Damwon Kia couldn't afford it. This is going to be my guess. Because it's really hard for Viper to turn down. If Viper really wanted to be with Klid and Zeka, I mean, come on. Oh, you know what? Came down to the support. That's what it came down to. I remember now. He said he wanted Carria, and T1's like, absolutely not. And so he went to HLE so he could be with Life instead of going to Damwon and being stuck with Kellen. Vegas last year didn't make the playoffs. So it is biting them. Their salary cap is a complete disaster. I think the only reason they're even this good right now is probably because is Pietrangelo still out? And it's a weird thing to say. Oh, it's because Pietrangelo is out that they're doing so well. But let's see. Damn it. They have $1 million of cap space. But they have... Oh, Pietrangelo is... 3. I don't know if this is counting towards their cap or not. Let's see. 3, 23... Yeah, it's probably counting. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jack being gone's fine with me. Tuck is a better fit. He's a better fit. Not a better player, but a better fit for the team, better fit for the city, better leader, in my opinion. So, yeah. We got a good player. Krebs is kind of whatever, but we also got picks, so good deal for us. My top 3-5 teams. The problem is I would love to put LPL players in there. And I mean, not LPL teams, but we don't know the rosters. So, like, FlyQuest should be fun to watch. 100 Thieves, I think, is going to be fun to watch their content, not the team. I'm going to have some interest in T1 probably. I want to see how a team like Nongshim does. Nongshim bringing up their challenger roster. But like LPL is usually like, those are the teams that I like. FPX, OMG. Those two teams were really fun on paper to think about. If Thunder Talk keep their nucleus, I would really like to see Thunder Talk next year if they bring back Bechuan and UCal and Kepler and Yao Yao. The Sabres have been really fun to watch as well. We score like our goaltending is absolute dog water, but our Tage Thompson, scored 5 goals last night. Absolutely outstanding. We score a ton of goals. We just allow a lot of goals. Excuse me. By the way, I thank you for coming to the stream. Probably going to be streaming for another 15 minutes or so. But I really appreciate you guys stopping by and chit-chatting and showing up and supporting me, supporting the channel. You guys are the reason why this channel is still going, you know. Because, I'm going month by month here, actually. If it wasn't for good old Joe backing off those student loans, I'd probably have this channel would be dead. I would have had to stop. So, he's kept me afloat. Oh, no, the project's something else. Project is a massive thing that I'm trying to do. And people might not end up liking it. It's actually going to be kind of controversial, probably. But I'm going to have a lot of stats to go off of. I have no idea why Damwon Kia chose Kana over Rascal. If all things are equal, I would have been taking Rascal. I don't think Kana on his best day is better than Rascal. So, excuse me, my assumption is Rascal would have taken more money. I do imagine Damwon Kia does not have a ton of money left over for top lane based on the other 3 main players and Kellen. Where DRX, so they kept Barrel. Duck Dom could not name his price because Teddy is still unemployed too. So they could choose between Teddy and Duck Dom. So there's not like a situation where the guy can say, I'm the only good guy available. I'm naming my price. Where Rascal could do that. Rascal could say, oh, all that's out there is Kana. So I'm going to name my price. And whoever pays it, pays it. Loser gets Kana. Yeah, I don't know who's friends of who, but that's the way I see it. I won't be shocked if Prince doesn't. Prince has put together one exceptional split. Exceptional. I think that getting him is a massive, massive deal. But there is a reason why the Korean and Chinese teams did not want to spend as much money as FlyQuest did on him. So, if he can keep it up, he can keep it up. But who knows if he does. Oh, well, if that's the case, Canyon is holding back Damwon Kia with his friendship of Kellen. That's what that tells me. 110%. Because Kellen's the reason why they couldn't get Viper. So, if Don Juan Kia continues to lose, that's why. It's a shame. Canyon's the reason why they're winning, and also, same time, reason why they are not getting the job done. Kellen's not good. Maybe Deft can help him because he's more experienced. He's been around the block. He can be like, hey, Mako used to do this. Mata used to do this. Maybe you should do these things. That is the only way that this is a worthwhile adventure. I don't know. There has to be, you have to respect Bangy. You've got to. So that's in the argument. He's definitely in the. There is an argument. He is part of it. So, and I could see people saying he is, and I could see some people saying he isn't. And luckily, he is still building on his legacy, where Bangy's legacy is done. So, Canyon could surpass him, and he could not. Yeah, because Duck Dom and Kellen were a pair, it was impossible to get. Don Juan Kia has a couple prospects. Thanatos in top lane's good, and Rahel in AD carry is also good. I thought Rahel should have been an LCK AD carry this year. Or a LCS team should get him. You know? Like, go buy him. He is starting in Academy. 100 Thieves announced their Academy roster. Sniper is starting in Academy. They also have a kid somewhere else. 80 No. Yeah, well, Unforgiven isn't a kid. Yeah, I thought that's what Don Juan Kia was going to do as well. Didn't end up being the case. They ended up spending a lot of money on an old man and Kana. No offense to Deft, but the meta really allowed a player that's not quite their best anymore to play a utility role alongside a support that is playing literally maybe the best tournament we've seen out of a support in recent memory. So Deft. Like I said, I don't think Don Juan Kia got better. I don't really think they got worse. I think it's just whatever. The coaching situation is the difference, though. Daney is out, and Bubbling is the coach. Bubbling has no experience at the top level. So, maybe the coach is going to stink. Maybe the coach is going to be good. That is the bigger concern with Don Juan Kia, actually, more so than the players on the raft, as far as I'm concerned. Kind of an underrated thing that we kind of forget about because we think about players all the time. But the coach had a lot of power with that team last year. We saw it with Birdall and Nuguri being swapped out. Oh my God. I can't believe that. Wow. Man. Yeah, only a couple minutes left here. So if you didn't like the stream in terms of liking the video, I mean, I guess it really doesn't. Well, like it if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed and you're new, I do daily content. Later on today, my mid laner video is going to go out. The last couple days, I had my top 5 junglers, top 5 top laners. But I do daily content. Yesterday, I did a roundup where I covered the news from the last week. That's the main core video of my channel and series. I mean, shoot. That is the main series I do for my channel, covering all the news. If there are games going on, that's where you get, imagine it like a sports center, but in terms of 5 minutes and with a whiteboard. There's that. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter. Become a supporter. $3 a month supports me, keeps the channel alive, allows me to do this, which would be awesome. $10 a month, you do that. Plus, members only videos. I uploaded one right before I came on stream. It was an NFL American football video. That's the content I do right now for members only. And then when League comes back, that's where I do all my predictions. So if LGD and Thunder Talk are playing tomorrow, I would have a video up, members only, where I give you who I think is going to win. So that's kind of what that is. How do I data mine statistics? The long way. That's kind of disingenuous the way I said that, but the long way as in I look at the stats and I take my Excel spreadsheet and I add it all together. Do it all myself. Because some stats are not present that I would like to be present. Like right now, doing this Jinx versus Aphelios thing, nowhere can I find how Jinx versus Aphelios went by itself. In terms of in-depth, I actually am the guy that has the win rate for pro. So that's kind of interesting. But the data that goes along with that, I didn't keep track of because I did not have the foresight to think, hey, I want to do this offseason, so now I'm going through 380 matches to try and find the data that I could have been doing as the season went along. Some people do use Microsoft, Access? Is that what it is? I think I used it in high school, but I never tried to use it. Yeah, I mean, you can look at it that way if you're down one Kia, but then you're just hoping it anticipates Sejuani to be coming back anytime soon. Hopefully OBS didn't just crash. But, yeah. So, that's it for the stream. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, join the Discord. I'm there all the time pretty much in some way, shape, or form. User, brand new to the channel, brand new to the stream. I'm sorry I'm leaving. The VOD will be up if you want to rewatch the nonsense that went on during this. Well, not nonsense, but just back and forth chatter. Otherwise, join the Discord, though. We're there. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by. Like I said, become a YouTube member, subscribe to the channel, Follow me on Twitter, and thank you for watching.